Usually they one breath.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our forum on cancer drug access this morning. And special thanks to all the panelists here for taking your time to share your opinions and insight with us despite your busy schedule. So I'm Tan from University of Malaysia, and I will be moderating today's session in place of Dr. Baharia because unfortunately Dr. Baharia is not feeling well, so he's unable to join us today. So before we start the panel discussion, please allow me to briefly introduce what this forum is all about. So, being socioeconomically disadvantaged is commonly cited as a factor that makes cancer treatment unaffordable to many patients. So the problem of limited drug accessibility not only results in patients being unable to receive treatment, but it also affects the various aspects of cancer drug discovery and development, and also reimbursement of cancer treatment costs. So today, we bring together all these very well qualified panelists representing cancer survivors, cancer advocates, clinicians, and also representatives from the industry to discuss potential strategies for improving cancer drug access. So today we have 6 panelists with us, and in the interest of time, please allow me to just briefly introduce each of them. Their full biography can be found in the program book. So we have Professor Dr. Hao Sun, a consultant general physician and chief physician from the International Islamic University, Malaysia. So Prof. Hao is a clinician who has been advocating cancer treatment at minimal cost. We also have Dr. Mulali Karan Islami, a public health physician and the managing director of the National Cancer Society of Malaysia. So Dr. Mulali has actively engaged in health system reforms, especially in non-communicable diseases like cancer. Next, we have Dr. Yolanda Agustin, a Malaysian oncologist at St. George University of London. Dr. Yolanda has a special interest in global oncology. She leads a global oncology program focusing on developing affordable therapeutics and diagnostics for cancer and infectious diseases in low and middle income countries. We also have Prof. Dr. Rosie Mahmood from University Putra, Malaysia, who has been advocating the solutions for many challenges in cancer treatment. Prof. Rosie has also been helping cancer patients in need for financial aid by fundraising campaigns and channel the help through many organizations. So Prof. Rosie herself is a cancer survivor, by the way. So we are lucky that we can share some words from the perspective of a cancer survivor later. We also have Dr. Fuad Ismail, the head of the Radiotherapy and Oncology Department at UKM, University of Malaysia. Prof. Dr. Fuad is also affiliated with the Malaysian Oncological Society, which organizes our conference today. And he was also the chairman for the Research and Ethics Committee at University of Malaysia. And finally, we have Mr. Jegatiswaran Pandarajan, Mr. Jega, from Novartis Corporation, Malaysia. Mr. Jega has worked across various pharmaceutical and medical devices companies, both in the local and regional positions in the area of pricing and reimbursement, market access strategy, health economics, among others. So Mr. Jega can bring us some voice from the industry perspective. So originally, we also had Mr. Azro from the Grand Center, but unfortunately, he is also not feeling well today, so he also cannot make it to the forum. So thank you very much again for joining our forum discussion today. So as I mentioned earlier, drug accessibility is a major barrier in cancer treatment. So before we start discussing the problem of cancer drug access, I'm just wondering whether cancer patients are normally given the options to make the right choice of the oncodrugs. So maybe Prof. Rosie is a cancer survivor and also a breast radiologist who treat cancer patients. Maybe you can share some of your experiences with us.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Tan, and thank you very much, MACR, for inviting me today. It's been a challenge to become cancer patient, but to all of you, I just want to portray a little bit of information that having cancer is not that bad after all. With all the therapeutics that we have nowadays, it helps us in such a way that our quality of life is being managed properly. Okay, to answer to your question, we do have challenges. Since I'm in the literate sort of group, I tend to read about what are the options that can be given for cancer with regards to the stage and also the background disease that you have. But to some patients, I think having a safe set of condition, especially those who are financially incapable, they are not being given the whole range of treatment. How do I know about this? Is because I'm engaged with many NGOs and patient survival programs, and I do read a lot of them. Previously, I was the Cancer Resource and Education Director in UPM. So we do see a lot of patients who are not in the group where they are able to have a lot of access to the latest treatment. In fact, they are not being told about the latest technology or treatment that can be given. I'm a bit on the fortunate side because the oncologist that is treating me give me the options and tell me about what are the treatment which is most appropriate for me. But in some patients, they don't get all these things because I guess so the oncologists knew that the patients won't be able to reach to that amount that they have to pay. But I feel that it should be given to them because sometimes they can beg, steal, or try to get certain ways in how to survive their condition. I feel it that way. And the other thing is that as a cancer survivor, sometimes we are not given the whole range of the workflow on different stages of treatment. So I think it should be given to the patients. And the other thing is, I think biosimilars are also not being given an option to us as well. So I think a lot of the patients who are scared with regards to the treatment, they are scared about chemotherapy. Whereas the latest treatment nowadays gives you a better option of less side effects, less acute and also long-term side effects. That's how I feel about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Rosie. So I have another closely related question about onco drugs. So is there actually a non-equitable distribution of onco drugs in Malaysia? Like, are there certain groups of onco drugs that are not accessible by a certain group of individuals, like the B40 population in Malaysia?
Definitely, because not just onco drugs, in terms of chemo, but in terms of other treatments which are not being given option. For example, for myself, when I was being introduced about immunotherapy and monoclonal antibodies, I couldn't get it from because I'm on the government side, I couldn't get it from the government side, I have to buy it. So that actually is pretty expensive.
Thank you again, Prof. Rosie. So, Prof. Mark, I know you are advocating cancer treatment and clinical course. Would you like to add anything to Prof. Rosie's answer?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm actually a chest physician with special interest in lung cancer treatment. Yes, you are right. Actually, a lot of patients, I'm looking at government hospital anyway. A lot of patients actually cannot afford all this treatment, like what Prof. was saying about immunotherapy, immune checkpoint inhibitors. Just for your idea, one dose of immune checkpoint inhibitor is about 12,000. That's the cheapest episode you can have. It's about 12,000. And you need every 3 weeks. So imagine how many percent of patients actually can afford. Not even B40, even M40 also can afford. Some of the T20, which is very difficult to pay 12,000 every 3 weeks. Okay, but then there's some targeted therapy. Like for example, suddenly forgot this drug, about PDI, but that cancer of female clinic, it costs 27,000 per box. Yeah, you buy one, but 27,000, it's just like buying a car. You need to get a loan. Imagine every month you need to pay for 27,000. So that is very costly for most of our patients. I would say 95% of our pharma patients cannot afford all these treatments.
Thank you, Prof. Prof. Dr. Fuad, would you like to add anything from the perspective of oncology and radiotherapy?
Okay, thank you. I think we need to separate two systems, what we offer in the government and the private service. So private service really depends on how much insurance you have or which company you work with. So certain insurance have got better caps on the limit how much they will pay for your care. So this patient may afford people to afford the latest therapies. And in government space it's much more challenging. So I think the key in the government is providing not just basic, actually quite good service and quite good amount of drug for most cancers. But then for the newer cancer drug, it is very difficult for any country to catch up because the cost of cancer therapy is rising much faster than the growth of GDP. So even the developed countries, they are struggling to provide for all the different latest therapies such as the checkpoint inhibitors, they are struggling. So for the government service, when we look at what therapies are available, we tend to look at the cost per life saved in terms of your GDP. So as a general fact, the research says that you can save a life or extend your life a year at a cost of 1 to 3 GDP, that's your target. But some of this, as you said, the immune checkpoint inhibitor, the price per year is about 300,000. So that is about 7 times the GDP, so it's not cost effective, not possible for the government to afford. So we work on those things and we have to always put a cap on the price of what will be affordable for the country in the long term.
Thank you, Prof. Dr. Fuad. So I'm also wondering how is the overall distribution situation outside Malaysia? So Dr. Yolanda, maybe you can share your experience in the UK.
No, thank you so much. So actually, my focus is more on how we increase access to drugs in low middle income countries. So although I have trained in the UK and part of my work is there now, obviously it's an increasing problem seen all over the world. So even in the NHS, the National Health Service, they are facing severe shortages and issues with trying to basically cover the cost of cancer drugs. But what I would really like to do also is maybe move the conversation towards what are the solutions in terms of actually increasing better access to cancer drugs. And this is where I really feel that public policy has to play a more vital role. We need to see actually the government also taking leadership around the world to actually work with companies, with pharma, to basically get the cost of drugs down. And I think this is one area where Malaysia can really lead as well. So in 2020, Drugs for Neglected Diseases, together with Medicine Sans Frontiers and also Ministry of Health Malaysia, actually developed a generic formulation for hepatitis C. And then it went into clinical trials in Malaysia and Thailand, and subsequently it brought the cost of a 12-week course of treatment down from 70,000 USD to 300 USD. And it suddenly increased access for so many patients, not just in Malaysia, but also in Southeast Asia. And also there is now work to basically create a value chain throughout countries under the Islamic Development Bank's remit to basically increase access in these areas. So I see this as an inspirational role that Malaysia can play. I think it's a leadership role that we need to see happen, not just for infectious disease, but also for cancer. And later in my talk, I'm going to be talking about two other strategies which I think Malaysia can play a role in. One is drug repurposing for cancer, but also a new platform called molecular farming, where we can actually grow cancer antibodies and immunotherapies in plants. And this is certainly being also incorporated into the biotechnology strategy for Malaysia more recently as well. So I think we need to be creative. We need to stop just talking about cost, but actually, first of all, find out why that cost is so high, and look at what are the barriers that we can break to bring that cost down. because we're all aware that often there are many unethical practices also going on in the industry, which actually need to change, because cancer is something that can affect all of us. And alongside that, we also need to stop giving power, I think, purely to industry to innovate. Innovation also has to happen at the government level. We need to see the public sector also providing leadership and encouraging industry to do the right thing. And together, I think we can definitely make progress.
Thank you, Dr. Yolanda. So, as we know, targeted therapy is considered a more effective way to treat cancer, but it is also more expensive. So, I'm sure Prof. Wang and Prof. Wang know about this very well. So, I just wonder, are there any possible alternative way to reduce the cost of targeted therapy? So, maybe Prof. Dr. Wang can share your wisdom with us.
That's a bit of a touchy topic. One of the things that you have to remember is that when a drug comes out, it's usually a drug label. So you use this drug X amount for certain amount of days. But sometimes we go down to the basic science and then we see that this drug has got a very long half-life. So you actually don't need to give it every day. Or you don't need to give it at certain dose. There's no dose seems to work just as well. So those are the things that sometimes the clinicians in the way we start with the patient and then we advise them that okay, maybe we need an alternate days because the half-life is actually 50 hours, so in theory it should last for 2 days. I think both Prof. Our and yourself have been doing that for certain selected drugs, but we're very careful. And even if you look at new hormone therapy for prostate cancer, we find that if you have it with food or without food, it makes a difference how much the drug goes into your body. So then you can actually reduce the dose by one quarter. Of course, that's not going to appear the label of the pharma company, and nobody will come around and promote, oh, this is a better way of doing things and saving money for your patient. No, that really doesn't happen. Maybe how we can comment on that as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree with Prof. Wang. I've been advocating this for a long time. As I told you, it's not approximately cost about 14,000 a month. And actually, if you look at phase 1 study of oximetry, they were using 20 milligram, 40, 80, 160, and 240. If you look at overall response rate of these 5 different doses, it's more or less the same, about 52%. Okay, so, but finally, when you go to phase 3, they're using 80 milligram. Question is whether we can use lower dose. We know the ORR is good, the overall response rate is good. Now, whether the progression-free survival and OS is different or not, we don't know. We don't have this data. So I think we need a lot of real-world data to actually complement this evidence, scientific evidence. So what I've been doing is, I was advocating is, I actually set up a lung cancer registry in Malaysia. So we register all the patients who are taking all the drugs, and we are actually analyzing. And in fact, we have done a few analysis on drugs like afatinib, which is second generation TKI, and quite a big number of patients because it's cheaper. The one dose is about, the 1 month cost is about $3,000. So we found that those patients will give us half of the dose compared to conventional dose, which is 14 milligrams. No difference in terms of progression-free survival, no difference in terms of overall survival. And now we're also analyzing oximetry, which is newer drug. As I say, 14,000 a month if you take 80 milligrams daily. But we have patients who are so poor they cannot afford 80. So we ask them to take half the tablet every alternate day. So there is only 3,000 a month. So it's about 25% of the cost. And we analyzed the data about small group of patients, about 20 patients. We found also no difference in terms of progression-free survival. OS we don't know yet because it's still happening. So I think these are something that we can do. And another one also talking about immunotherapy. I'm very excited about this immunotherapy. Immune checkpoint inhibitor. Actually, this drug is very peculiar. One is the PD-1 inhibition lasted for more than 100 days, based on some of the phase 1. And we actually can use this by giving probably less frequent, 3 monthly, even 6 monthly. I think the patient will say, sorry doctor, I cannot pay. You ask me to pay 12,000 every 3 weekly, I'd rather die. You know, so what I did was, I said, why don't you try 1 dose? And then the second dose depends when you got money, you take the second dose. So what happened is I found it very peculiar. After 1 dose, the children keep on shrinking. And then the patient said, I'm not going for another dose because I got no more symptoms. And this patient had alive still after 3 years, just with one dose. And this is not new. If you go and look at literature, there are a lot of case studies and case reports actually documented this, that even between doses, there is a durable response. So I think it's something that we need to study. You are the scientists, you all can so do some study to find out who are these patients that probably just need to give 1 or 2 doses and they can have even cure. So I think this is something that we need to look together.
Thank you, Prof. Paul, and also Prof. Fuad. And I'm also wondering, what are the roles of insurance companies and what are the strategies taken by the government to improve drug accessibility? So, Dr. Murali, maybe you have some ideas about this?
So, I could represent the insurance fraternity and happy with men. So, the problem actually largely with insurances, and this is the issue in Malaysia, is that you are now seeing a generation of patients who have bought their insurance policies about 10 to 15 years ago. And the big problem with this packet of people, similar like me when we started work, we started buying health insurance, policies at that time capped at 100,000, first issue. Second thing, there's almost no outpatient coverage on these older set of policies. And other than that, there's big limitations on what they can reimburse and what they cannot reimburse. So when you go back to insurance companies now, and they will tell you like if there's far younger people, younger professionals who are now coming into the work landscape, they start buying insurance. Now it's a very different universe. You have outpatient coverage, they cover almost all kinds of cardiac therapies. I think most health insurance policies are now 1 million at the minimum, which is then renewable every year. So unfortunately, we won't see these benefits until about 10 years down the road that this generation of people are getting cancer. So the problem is we are now faced again with a problem which was inherited. So that's the real challenge with insurance. So insurance companies are struggling to kind of offer onto these people who are now 40s, in their 40s, start getting cancer. They start getting them to buy top-up policies. But the problem is now you're so much older and your policies become tremendously expensive as well. So it's a very chicken-egg situation. I think in terms of what the government is doing is, the government has been, I think, for as long as you all can remember, I think, I would like to think I'm run doctors each group. That was very young. But actually to share, I was Dr. Ravi's announcement about 100 years ago, and everything that was mentored by Dr. So the issue is, at this point in time, we can't cope with that in terms of private health insurance. So as much as clinicians in private hospitals, all in government hospitals actually, you're crippling them from being able to make a decision. So, for example, like Dr. was saying, you were saying this now, I think we started off with what are choice to patients. But that's the thing, isn't a choice. So we're really crippling clinicians, they can't practice medicine. Because now their job is to become Pasamalam free salesman. You got 10 ringgit and you give you Bawa. You got 5 ringgit and you give you. That's not their job. We all train as physicians to be able to do the best for our patients. And that's not what we are able to do. So what the government is trying to do? First, I think we talk about social health insurance, like a big kind of insurance that will help or increase the kind of reimbursable quota, perhaps, for all Malaysians. But in this unity government, I don't see enough of a political will. I don't know. I think like even before the election, I noticed none of the parties have put down a very best meeting on social health insurance. But we need to bridge it. Interestingly, private health insurance as an industry is willing to merge their existing insurance policies together with the government social insurance. So they have plans for that. They have kind of put a few papers to the government saying that if we put a social insurance, look, this is how we will kind of integrate existing insurance policies. So there's quite a lot of policy work being done, but at some point somebody has to bite the bullet and say, take it. The government has to implement this, but it's not a popular decision. So,
thank you very much, Dr. So, Mr. Mr. Jaga, I know you had Mr. Jaga, I know you used to be involved in things like pricing and reimbursement. Would you like to add anything to Dr. Mali's comment?
So, thank you, Dr. Mali. I actually think this both sides have been involved for 7 years in pharmaceutical services division. So, I will give my view. I think I'm quite aligned how it started off, especially when what say that it's two separate issues when it comes to pricing and reimbursement. When it comes to government as well as the private sector, because private sector, as we here, there's value chain. There's a lot of intermediary between the manufacturing up to patients. So there's a lot of cost involved, and it's a separate issue. But I think when it comes to primary decision making, I think those a lot of what they call newer dimensions happen in the MWIC setting itself. I think even scrutiny as of last month has been listed in the government. I'm sure it's definitely between GPT-1 to 3. There are those between 2 usually. Even 1.5. So they have a very strict cap in MOH. But I think what needs to happen to have that access or that safety net, I'm only using the word social issues, whether it's reaching there, we always want to create a safety net. That's why all this from the SEHA, it's creating that safety net, right? So that honestly, I think that's what Dr. Yolanda was referring towards, that space can only happen if we move towards solution-based. We start speaking on how can we go for a population discount, this kind of amount, this kind of people, there need to be some sort of indifference, and what value it brings to the society. Because it's not about win-win anymore, it's triple-win nowadays, it's the patient, the healthcare system, as well as the provider. So everybody needs to be, give and take good things and get with that. And I think that good thing has been happening. I have a talk in that. I'm going to give a couple of examples, especially on how the farm convention, on this. I'm happy to be part of the lung registry as well, actually. But the data that we get, very localized, very specialized, really help in decision making. You know where there is real things happen, what kind of therapeutic window that we're looking into. That really helps, that gives a lot of judgment, because at the end of the day, we want certainty of what we are spending. I think that's what the government wants, and which is fair, which is primary, because that's the value that we create. Because everyone needs to be reciprocated for the value, and I think that on that basis it's happening. It should happen more. That's what I hear from them, which is a positive side. That's how it should be too.
Thank you, Mr. Jaga, for sharing your insights with us. And I'm wondering what's the situation in the UK. So maybe Dr. Yolanda, what is the goal of insurance companies and the government in helping to improve cancer care access in the UK?
Okay. So in general, I think the public health sector basically does provide for general access to novel and also proven immunotherapy drugs and also targeted antibodies. They have a nice technology assessment, which basically is a way of assessing which drugs should actually be approved on the NHS. And obviously that then takes into account issues to do with patient survival, quality of life years, etc. And it is a challenge because not all drugs are approved and not all therapy is actually available on the NHS. But I think also moving back towards how we can actually learn from what's happened internationally as well. I'd like to just also address the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic. Because I think we've seen actually in that space the acceleration that happened in terms of the collaboration internationally between governments, between academia and scientists to actually come up with cancer vaccines, to actually do drug repurposing for COVID vaccines and COVID therapeutics was phenomenal. And to actually see that happen in an 18-month period, I also want to ask and challenge ourselves, like, why can't that happen for cancer? And the reason is that basically there are a lot of vested interests and also a lot of ring fencing, people actually working in silos all around the world. And it's very hard to actually get open collaboration between universities, between academic institutes, and also to bridge the divide between high-income countries and low-and-middle-income countries. So I think we really need to move towards a more open and collaborative spirit. But also we do need to also hold industry to account, because in the COVID-19 pandemic, more than half of the funding that went into research and development for the COVID vaccines actually came from the public sector, and was also funded through grants, etc. So I would like to see more data as well about how much of the initial preclinical work that goes into drug development is actually coming from government grants, from charities, and from grant-making bodies, for example. Because I think we're very quick to sort of accept that the price of the drug is what it is, but we see very often that when patents expire and when basically we're able to move into the biosimilar space, the cost of the drug comes down very significantly. And also, that's not going to affect profits. Drug companies are not going to start selling a drug at a lower price and make a loss in general. So then that brings us back to the question of inflation. How inflated is the cost of cancer drugs that are currently on the market? And as I said, it's always an argument from the industry that it's so expensive because it takes so long, and it's very expensive to basically develop these drugs in the first place. But also how much of the preclinical work actually is also backed by grants by the public sector. So I'd like to get us to think about that. And the second point is, I think we've also learned a lesson that unless manufacturing and R&D actually happens locally or regionally, it's not going to be affordable for those local markets. So in the early days when we first saw the COVID diagnostic tests come up, for example, they were being manufactured in very specific parts of the world, and they were still very expensive. It was only when we put into local manufacturing that we actually saw increased access for Asia and also for Africa. And I think it's a similar story with drug production for cancer drugs. So that's why I feel we should really be talking more about how we increase access to local manufacturing, to tech transfer in Asia, in Malaysia, how we can get Malaysia to lead on that, and then have knock-on effects, reverse linkage for other countries in the global south. So I think this is an expanded conversation that I'm very passionate about. And I think it comes down to what is the true cost of drugs, how can we bring that cost down, how can we work together in global and open collaboration.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yolanda, for the sharing. So I also understand that there are some newer drugs that are not currently available in the government formulary, and it typically takes a very long time for these drugs to be approved. So why is there a long time frame and quota for these special drugs, for this drug to be approved? Maybe Mr. Vega can share the personal experience.
Thank you. Long time frame to get into formulary. That was a question I presume. Definitely the data. I think there's certain specific guidelines on when a product can get into the formulary. Okay, so I'm speaking this from a customer perspective, from an external perspective. So there's a set of regulations that need to be there, and of course they can do some assessment, the value to cost and all these things. But having said that, I think when you speak about quota or what that comes later, it depends on the funding available and stuff like that. But there are certain access where there's some special approval that can be made for patients if we really need the patient to meet that specific program. And from a company perspective, we do have some managed access program. While waiting the product to be registered in Malaysia, we open for at zero cost for patients. There are ways to access this drug. I think the larger question would be the quantum, whether it's for all, but then that's again always a learning, right? When patients start using exposure, the experience, and then of course when you go into the cost will come into conversation. I think that is the whole structure. To say no, but there is always a way, but maybe the quantum is something we can speak about why there is not a big quantum. But then that really depends on honestly on the, I think COVID-19 is a good example. How quick, how direct is that? Sometimes that kind of push is needed, but you can't be pushing for all areas. Then everything is fast. So sometimes that's the balance we are looking for.
Maybe I can add. I think that there are two things. One is to register in Malaysia, for the new drug to register in Malaysia. I think this is pretty fast. I find when the product to register in Malaysia, usually 6 months after Singapore register, Malaysia will follow. Okay, this is. I think what you ask is get into the government group. Means that all the patients will get the drug for free. Okay, this takes a long time. It can be ages. One decade is possible. For example, ALK inhibitor. ALK inhibitor is a very good drug. It gives you a 5-year survival of 60% for stage 4 lung cancer patients. 5-year survival of 60%. If you give chemo to the patient, hardly any patient survive for 5 years. Okay, but this drug until today is still not in the blue book. And the pharma companies have been trying to submit for approval to get into the blue book, and they failed. Multiple times. I'm sure Prof. Lukai and me, we keep on failing and supporting the document. You know, when pharma companies want to support for blue book submission, they will ask us to support. So we say, yes, we think we need this drug, it's a good drug. You know, it really prolongs the patient life. Unfortunately, until today, it's for more than 10 years already. Inhibited in the market. It's still not in. The main problem is the cost. That's the only thing that I think they need. The drug can be a little bit difficult.
Maybe Dr. Noli wants to say something?
So, just to add on what Mr. Jiga is saying and Prof saying, I think, like in terms of thinking, I think we really need to think out of the box. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, this is the reality. We are going into economic uncertainty where the government is already coming in, I think, relaxed. What I understand is more than $1 trillion in debt. So the thought process for decision making is automatically going to always be don't expand coverage. So right, as much as efforts need to be made and constantly made to push things into reimbursement, okay, and that needs to be an ongoing work. Meaning struggle to get things into reimbursement by government. But as Prof and Dato' will tell you, reimbursement doesn't mean that every patient gets. It just means that, okay, some patients are going to get, some patients are not going to get. And I'll tell you why we start thinking of the box and what we start doing about it, and maybe one or two things that I think Dr. already mentioned. First is, so what do I mean by expanding access? So we start working now with other innovative financiers, okay, small micro loans first. Second is with religious organizations to help fund government patients. So, but also working together with manufacturers. So we have a very interesting program which we have kicked off, I think, prostate cancer drug, Abiratrone, for patients in public hospitals. So Abiratrone is an originator in Europe. Okay, so the originator is about 8,000. The closest generic is about 3,007 or 3,008. But we use the government of India on a cultural kind of discussion and help between countries to talk to the manufacturer in India. Okay, then we got them to agree to give that drug via a specific program through the Cancer Society to public sector patients at 30% of even the cheapest generic. And now there's about 800 patients additionally monthly on that drug in Ministry of Health hospitals. But this, you notice I've been very careful to mention the Ministry of Health hospitals. The reason is I don't want to kill the industry in terms of private space. So if private insurance patients are able to be reimbursed in private hospitals, well, at least the companies or whoever else is making money that way. But in this way, I open up a quota to patients who are able to pay a little bit. Not all patients can pay nothing, right? That Prof and I think Prof was saying there's some patients who are M40, and then there's the B40. Right? The B40 patients we subsidize society through innovative financing, subsidize as a diary. But M40 patients we means test to Vajika, and they pay something. So in that way, we open access for 800 patients with no kind of additional cost to the government. But at the end of the day, the patient is one mechanism. Second mechanism, local manufacturers have capacity, but they don't have technology. And increasingly, some of the bigger giants, for example, Biocon is a big international generic manufacturer. They produce in Malaysia, and in fact, they're an FDA, US FDA company, and they have, I think, the largest manufacturers of insulin globally is in Malaysia. Look, so we, working through the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, we went to Biocon and said that, hey, you look at Malaysia, basically using our toilet, and using our facilities, our water, electricity, but what are you giving for our water? So now we have entered, and I think we're going to roll this out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Biocon is giving, again, through this special access program, the Ministry of Health and Sport, and there was two targeted actions, which will now be made available at a fraction of the existing cost. Again, at no cost to the government, but it's through society, innovative financing. There's 40 different companies and organizations involved other than Biocon. But Biocon is also giving us at a very, very reduced price. So again, I think we hope to open access to about 1,500, 2,000 patients monthly across the country. So 2 strategies already in place. Doc spoke about very interesting strategy, repurposing. Right? So if you, I'm going back to the COVID-19 example. So there was a whole lot of people, innovative technologies like working at developing vaccines, and of course now your therapies for prophylactic, which is now you start seeing going on more and more, and prevention and mitigation of symptoms, making symptoms of the disease milder if you get COVID. Right? At the same time, and I'm sure everybody remembers this, there was a whole lot of praise about ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and all the other rubbish in the world. But the rubbish was strong enough. We had a lot of them. I couldn't use the word here, other than French, buying into it. Right? But at that point, we needed data. And that data came from a lot of research, from institutional research, public health organizations, including, I think, in Malaysia, the largest kind of ivermectin trial was actually done by the Institute of Clinical Research. So, applying that to oncology, we're increasingly finding that there are a lot of weird drugs, old drugs, 50 years old, 60 years old, which may have a benefit across their indication. Meaning they were purpose for something else, approved for something else, now out of patent, so no drug company bothers to fund them, which is fair, but the good thing is, they come at not 14 cents, 15 cents per take, or even 8 cents or 6 cents or something. So at these costs, it doesn't become prohibitive for government organizations, public sector organizations, NGOs, research institutions to take up, if provided there's a good kind of lab level kind of preclinical studies to look at crossing indication technology. If it does help, why not? And that's an area of research I think that's very neglected. We focus a lot on innovative technology. Innovative technology is never going to be cheap. So by saying why innovation is going on, we also need to have lateral innovation, repurposing. So and that would be really an area where we need researchers to kind of look at. Because we're finding increasingly there's value in a lot of these old drugs, which may or may not have use in oncology, but they get it as science. And then we work at getting it to commercialize and to market, and help put it out to people. So that's that. And of course, at the same time, all of us still need to work together and stand outside the PRA and start to get people. So that's still an ongoing war. Anyway, so.
I think Dr. Modi opened up new conversations, according to my talk later, but that's okay. I think those schemes or innovative access is something really happening. We are working with the government, at least on behalf of these 2 projects, where we look into a way of different having to wear performance in so there are ways that you can go about this extended access. In the CMM area, there's few hundred of million patient care, and beyond that is so there are ways, but the conversation needs to happen. The fundamentals of scope need to be put up on those. And of course, there's possibility to do that. local manufacturing, I think Bharat was a good example. I think the other time they had wanted to do offtake, yeah. And this tech transfer can happen if there is quick. I think many of them, if there is the critical amount of mass market, not only for Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, because Malaysia has a very good position. If that allows, I think many people don't know. Just give you an example. For example, in the Europe, what happened was during COVID, there was no artist plant which is under definitely because of. So we actually opted to support Pfizer at a cost basis for manufacturing. So sometimes this kind of landscape is available, especially for areas we know that this disease is very prevalent in Malaysia. There's a mass critical, or we can do some for this region, not Malaysia, because it's a 30 million population versus some other place we have more than 8 million, 9 million population. You see, if that happens, then there is a big logic to it. You see, I think the Biocon was a very good example because they don't only supply from Malaysia but the whole region. So, but these are two aspects. Definitely, only conversation would help to move things forward.
Thank you very much. So I believe we all now have a much better understanding of what are the factors that causes the problem of limited cancer drug access and what is currently being done and what can possibly be done in the near future to improve cancer drug access both in Malaysia and in the international setting. So before we end the forum, maybe I'll just go around the table to see if any of the distinguished panelists have any final remark to add.
I think what Rosie was saying earlier, it's a very difficult thing when you have to choose research, like between paying for your child's university for that semester or buying that particular cancer therapy. That's a choice patients should not ever have to make. Even worse, clinicians are being forced to make that decision as well. So it really cripples our decision making and our treatment ability. So this is a lifelong struggle. All of us will die and we're still fighting about drug access. And the thing is, I think it's about inching, moving closer and closer, one little movement of the needle at a time. So this shouldn't stop us from trying. And most importantly, as I was pointing out, it's everybody's responsibility. And everybody can do something about it. You know, so it's one of us, like a few of us going helping it, and we are able to drug access. So everybody doing certain things. Clinicians, as the doctor was saying, looking at, changing treatment, therapeutic dosages and all that to make the patient, all these are things we need to do better. And together, that's how we slowly inch towards better access. Thanks.
Totally agree with what you said, Dr. Murray. Yeah, the capture of everybody dies. But at the end of it, what's more important is the quality of life. Thank you.
I just have a few comments. So one of the things is we were talking about cancer drugs in the blue book. So I think in terms of raising the bar, it's to raise the base is easier. And many of us work very hard with the MACRs. We have the health technology systems in organized, and we look at what drugs should be equal, what drugs should be prioritized, and then we do price negotiation. That's simple to nice. Some is interesting. They say, nice recommend this, but what you don't look at the bottom, provided that the company give a discount as agreed, that price will have down. And we also need to be a bit more innovative, looking at repurposing, and also be brave enough to do some research, especially when you give patients lower doses, and make sure that immunotherapy can work in lower doses. And we are always challenged with the question, is this ethical for the patients? I think doing innovative research always makes it a bit uncomfortable, but you're trying to help people get more access and make more drugs available to the population.
Yes. But basically, I think we also need to really be encouraging more collaboration, not just in academia, but also between the government. So I think we would really like to see actually more innovation and research and development going on with the Ministry of Science and Technology, together with Ministry of Health and also Ministry of Higher Education. And at the moment, we're in collaboration and in talks with these agencies about trying to develop a drug repurposing program for Malaysia and also focusing on molecular farming for Malaysia. But I think what we need to do is also look at how we value research. So I think, there's some amazing researchers and academics in Malaysia really doing cutting-edge work. But unfortunately, a lot of the time, it's really difficult to get funding. It's very difficult to move projects forward. And I think this is where we can also bring the industry into the discussion. So we know that all around the world, we're going to go into a global economic downturn. We've already experienced that. And the budgets on governments are going to be very restricted. But at the end of the day, healthcare is still a fundamental human right. And I believe that the two things that governments have to provide for their people are actually healthcare and education. And actually, it should be universal healthcare. Everybody should have access to equitable healthcare, and that includes cancer care. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing the other talks today, and I'm really hoping that we can keep the conversation going, amongst all partners, industry, also academia and public sector, but also not to forget patient advocacy. Because I think as a clinician and oncologist, often we're very excited about all the innovations that we can bring in, about the new cancer studies we can run, etc. But I think it's very important as well to also include patient advocacy groups and also patients themselves in the conversation. Because ultimately, it's not just about extended survival, but it really is also about what treatments really enhance quality of life, what treatments really enable patients to continue working, taking care of their families, and living with dignity. So, for me, I think that's really at the essence of what I hope Malaysia can continue to talk about and see how we can lead forward from here.
Okay, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our session today. Thank you very much for your attention, and special thanks to all the panelists for sharing your valuable comments with us. So it is hoped that through our discussion today, we can come up with a policy paper or something to contribute positively to the improvement of cancer drug access in our country. So thank you very much, and let's give our panelists a big round of applause.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for moderating this forum, the cancer drug access, and to all the eminent panelists for the insightful session. Yeah, it was really a really heated discussion this morning.